The show is live and interactive on social media. You can send in your thoughts on the hashtag SportsZone. The hashtag is SportsZone on Twitter. If you prefer WhatsApp, the WhatsApp number is 0551 57 57 57. 0551 5757 57. That should be on your screen anytime soon. Sports Zone on Joy Prime every Monday is brought to you by Hunters. We will take a very short break. When we come back, I'll introduce my two guests. We can start showing you some highlights after that. Hi, welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. Fentio, Tahir Fentio. I'm joined this evening, as usual, by the two spectacular men, Daniel Cranting and Sichofe Philip Achrim. Hi.
Hello.
You okay?
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you? Daniel's God is still working wonders, still in the miracle business. Jordan, are you?
He might have received it in double portion this week.
God.
Because at the top, it's shaky.
Ever since Roy Hodgson, it's like Roy Hodgson brought the portion with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But ever since Roy Hodgson walked into that Crystal Palace team,
Jordan,
I did something on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the God of Jordan to bless David Moyes too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he answered my prayer.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's double portion.
Jordan, Yami. He's at work. He's at work.
Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Now, Sports Zone every Monday is brought to you by Hunters, and we are very grateful to Hunters for all of their support. And they've introduced a new product called the Hunters Red Apple. Daniel will tell us all about it.
Yeah, introducing Hunters Real Apple Cider, a crisp, refreshing beverage that is perfect for every occasion. It's made from hand-picked apples and crafted with traditional techniques. Hunters Real Apple Cider is bursting with natural apple flavors and a hint of sweetness.
The hint, no? Mm-hmm. That is what everybody likes. That's what Sicho likes, the hint
of sweetness. I like it, man.
Okay.
Unlike other ciders, Hunter's Real Apple Cider is made from 100% pure apple juice with no added sugar or artificial flavors. Whether you are looking for a chilled, refreshing drink on a cold sunny day, or a warming beverage during the colder months, Hunter's Real Apple Cider is perfect choice. Enjoy it on its own or pair it with your favorite meal for a delicious and satisfying experience. Experience the true taste of real apples in every sip with Hunter's Real Apple Cider.
That's right.
It's got real apples, another quality product by Casa Preco. For bulk purchase, contact 026-235-1251.
Thank you very much, Daniel. So get yourself the Red Apple Cider from Hunters. And then
it's very nice.
Later.
Very nice.
It's very nice.
Yes, it is. It is very nice. It's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, let's get straight to it because we have a lot to cover today on the show. We'll begin with the Ghana and the 16 team, or the 17 team, as we like to call them here. They are at the UEFA Development Tournament in Serbia. They played against Serbia in their first game on Thursday. They won that match by 4-0. This is their second game against Spain, and they won this game by 3-2. So Spain scored first, wonderful free kick. I see them then the knee slide. Then Ghana responded. Benjamin Chivagno got a free kick of his own. There it is. Foul against Ghana. And Chivagno scored a hat-trick in the first game. And then he steps up over the top into the back of the net. Brilliantly executed by the 16-year-old. So at this point, that's 1-1. Lai Kinsing and Karim Zito are the men in charge of his team. This is Ghana's second goal. Lovely build-up. And look at that. Bam! Into the back of the net. Hammond with that finish. Left-footed. And the highlight doesn't do justice to the goal because the build-up started from the goalkeeper, the defenders, a quick transition onto the left, cut back, brilliantly executed. Okay, so at this point, Ghana were 2-1 up against Spain. Of course, then they scored again. The Spanish also coming forward. Boom, it was a really careless defending from Ghana, and it allowed Spain to get the equalizer 2-2 at this point. And before Ghana eventually got the winner, and they had two men sent off. Somebody said the referee became very emotional towards the end of the game. And that is Ghana's third goal and the winning goal. That's Chivanyo again with the finish. There he is, the number 7, 16-year-old. He's now scored 5 goals in just 2 games in this tournament. He's having the tournament to remember. He plays for Great Corinthians. That's the club they picked him from. And there he is, unmarked, 6 yards out, bam, into the back of the net. Then Ghana had 2 men sent off. And they ended the game with 9 men, but they still held on for the win anyway. But guys, this is good to see. It might be funny because, you know, within the week, when this team's performance was becoming a highlight on social media, people started to put pictures of the 1995-97 squad on the internet.
It's you.
And I said people.
It's you.
It's
Say
not
I.
me. But they look really young, and they play some good football, and that is good credit to Zito and Lai Kinsing. Don't you think? What's too funny, Daniel Crancy?
The fact that you are telling us that under 17s look really young. You don't need to tell us.
They have to be young.
No,
They are young.
you know, that's why I
Well,
started
you
from...
built your premise
yes, that
from-
was a premise.
Yeah.
You see, that was a
So the
premise to the
95s, they're not
statement.
looking young.
They didn't look young. They might have been young, but they didn't look young, that's for sure.
But this group look young.
Yeah, they do look young. But let's talk about the project. We haven't qualified for the Under-17 World Cup since 2017, so it's been 6 years. But it's really good to see us build from here, and I'm more excited to see that a young coach like Lai Kinsey, who has the experience of working with an academy like Right to Dream, is partnering Zito. And Zito sometimes I feel like doesn't get enough credit for how much time he spends working with youngsters. So that's a good pairing. This is a good step, no?
Yeah, it is. Of course. I mean, anytime you look at national teams, you're looking at the young group of players who would grow to become the big stars.
Yeah.
You know, and one of the things that we've almost always said is that we don't really have any succession plan. I'm not saying this is going to be a succession plan because this is just the Under-17 team.
Yeah.
We are yet to see any clear plan that says that there's a project that projects them into Under-20, Under-23 in the national team. So we can only isolate this team and discuss them. But as you said, Lai Kinston is coming from Right to Dreams and is working with Karim Zito, who also has a track record of grooming very, very good footballers. And even when you look at Under-23 team, some of the players there, about 7 of them, were part of that Karim Zito team that won the African Championship. And they've gone on to qualify Ghana to the U23. So he's got experience working with young, talented footballers. But quite clearly, nobody can convince me that the brand of football that they are playing is not clearly something that we've seen of Lai Kinston's team. That is, if you've seen his team play before from Right to Dreams. Yeah. And he was immensely successful during his time at Right to Dreams. So I'm happy that you might have picked the right people for the job. I've been one of those who has said that we need to also understand that our younger teams need special coaching.
Yeah.
So there are coaches who are extremely good at grooming talent, teaching them what it means, the basics of the game. And Lai with his experience, Zito with his experience, look like these two are the perfect fit for the job. So, and I'm happy also that the GFA are giving them these opportunities.
Absolutely.
It's not about training in pram and calling Cole's teams to have a football game with them, but it's more or less going outside the comfort zone, going into tournament mode, going into camping mode. As young as they are, that is experience in the bag. So I'm very excited about this project. And we've seen the brand of football. It's delightful.
Daniel, any quick thoughts on they play against Switzerland next in their final game before they come home?
Yeah, look, it's really impressive. Very impressive. But anytime I see one of our young teams play this good, and I'll go back to the 2017 team, Eric Ayer's batch. You look at, that was Kudus's batch also, that 2015 under-20 team with the likes of
Benjamin
Tete
and
his brother.
Tete and
Look, it breaks my heart because our football doesn't have a clearly defined identity. And you see, modern day football is going into what we like to call systems, where players are coached into systems. So it's going to be very difficult for some players to adjust into other systems. So if we have a clear-cut identity that runs through national teams, for women's football under 17, 20, 23 national team, same as the men's football. And it's a clear identity. Then you know that as they are growing, they are learning the same things. They are learning under the same syllabus. When this guy is from under 17 going to under 20, he will not have any problem adjusting when it comes to football. Yeah. In terms of football, the actual play, going to national team, nobody will really have a problem. But when you have the under 17s playing like this, then you look at under 20 under a different head coach with a different philosophy, also playing like this, going to the national team, which keeps chopping and changing national managers who come and change the style. It can be very difficult for players because take Germany for an example, or Spain.
You know the fundamental reason for why it's happening? We don't have a technical center.
Exactly.
So these guys don't have a common route of education.
Yeah. There's no common syllabus. Yeah. And it's very difficult because, look, you can see a player and say, this guy he will succeed in the Spanish system. He will succeed in the German system. What is the Ghana system and how are we helping ourselves as the game is evolving? Because some of these players are going to struggle, not because they are not good, but because maybe they don't fit a style of play that in future a new manager will come in and come in and apply. So we need to fix our football. Yeah. Yes, it's nice, but we need to fix our football. Clearly identify how we want to play and let him run.
How about, I'm thinking maybe this is the start where we might have to find we'll get an identity from. We are starting from a young age. Maybe if like instance Zito are very successful with this under 17 team, when they are of age to under 20, they might be taking them there. Yeah. Then they might be progressing them to under 23. Yeah. And by that time, if they are experienced enough and they've shown real progress with the group, of course, several players, other players will join, some will drop off here, but they would have been building something good. If they can progress with them systematically, like Gary Southgate for England did with his under-21 team, when his players were ripe, he was the national team coach. Yeah. He knew all about those players. Maybe, who's to say that in the next 6-7 years, like Kingston, if he continues on this path, cannot be the Black Stars coach when his players are ripe.
Yeah, so maybe consistency of the technical handlers is a very important aspect of the football education. Like Daniel said, there has to be some commonality and familiarity. It's very important that the ideologies are hammered into them from an early age, and it's very important to keep reminders of that ideology as they build up to the senior national team, like Sicho rightly pointed out. Let's talk about the highest level of football in Ghana, by the way, because on Friday, Kumasi Asante Kotoko succumbed to a 3-0 beating at the hands of Brecum Chelsea, and it wasn't pleasant. This is not the game. Benaya, thank you very much. Let's go to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. This is it. And many people were not impressed with the pitch. And on social media, people were actually making fun of the pitch. And there were those that were enraged, actually. But on the pitch itself, the quality of goals Brecum Chelsea scored and the quality of the goalkeeping from the lad, very, very questionable. But there is nobody that would have watched this game and not admit that Brecum Chelsea utterly deserved to win this game by how much they did. But look at the pitch. And I really don't want, I'm trying, guys, to not focus too much on the terrible playing surface and only focus on the really good goals that Brecum Chelsea scored. But I want to talk about Kotoko.
Yeah. But
3 victories in their last 10.
Yeah.
Since they sacked Seydou Zebo. It's all going
They've not won a game
tragically all right. And this is the House of Oak match.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get to the Kotoko conversation. They won by 2-1. A very controversial victory for that matter. The controversy being that House of Oak, Nshatteman were awarded a penalty when House of Oak led by 2-1. Then the referee consulted was it VAR? No, to be fair, it was his fourth official. And then changed his mind. And the Nshatteman are saying he consulted a non-existent VAR. They clearly ignoring the fact that he went to speak to his fourth official, who told him it wasn't a penalty. And to be fair to the referee, the replay showed that the ball struck the thigh of the player and not necessarily his arm. So it wasn't a penalty. And in the end, it was the right decision. But in Nshatteman, we're not having it. The coach, Mumuni Abubakar, said after that the referee thwarted their efforts. I don't know, Benaya, did you cut out that penalty incident? Because it's a very important part of that highlight. Anyway, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Kotoko, what's going on there?
First of all, do you know why in this game, all the 3 goals that Chelsea scored had to come from crosses?
Yes.
Because they cannot pass the ball. None of those 2 teams could pass the ball.
That's a good observation.
I mean, and you cannot keep growing football in a country where in the modern day players can play. So all the 3 goals that we've seen here all had to come from crosses. There is no way teams could put together 5 passes, 3 passes because the surface doesn't permit it. Yeah, this was disastrous from him.
It was horrible, not just this.
On the day, he didn't look himself. And Kotoko, as you said, do have genuine problems in the side. And if you remember my discussion or what I said a couple of weeks ago, that this Kotoko team is weaker than what we saw last season. And we are made to believe that the Kotoko management, they build their team, not necessarily the manager, per all reports and from all accounts. So that has to go down to them. But it hasn't also been helped by the fact that off the pitch, they've got issues.
Oh, yeah.
However, what was the plan for sacking Zebo? Because who is in now as the manager for Kotoko? Have they replaced Zebo? It's been how many weeks? It's been close to a month.
They played 10 matches.
Yeah. Since Zebo left, it can't be 10.
They've won 3.
They've played 10 matches now, consecutive matches that they've won 3 out of.
Yeah,
but since Zebo left, they've played 4 games, I think,
4.
and they've not won in those games as well. Yeah. So the point now is, when they were sacking Zebo, apart from King Faisal, which was a draw, Ignatius held them to a draw.
RTU,
yeah, absolutely.
Victory.
There was a game I knew they beat RTU. Now, when they were sacking Zebo, what was the plan? That, okay, Zebo is not good enough, but when he goes, who is the manager we are going to bring in to get the job done? I don't think they had a plan.
Like they didn't think about that part.
I don't think they had a plan because after 4 weeks or so, or 3 weeks, Kotoko have not replaced their manager. They're using their assistant managers or what have you with a squad that is not as good as it was last season. So the problems are very much from management to building a squad that wasn't as good as the team that won them the league to all the off-the-pitch incidents with the board and money. So everything around Kotoko not looking good.
And Kotoko have now slipped to 8 points behind the leaders, Aduana Stars. Daniel, take a bite at Hearts of Oak. They've had their own issues this season, haven't they? Quite a lot. They've struggled for consistency. But somehow, they are still within a touching distance of the league leaders. Aduana Stars, they're only 5 points behind, 8 matches to go. And I've looked at the table from 10th position all the way up to 1st position. The point difference is actually 12 points with 8 matches left. That is a massive. There you go.
But funny enough, it's more often like this in the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah,
more
it does.
Yeah.
Look at this: 47, 44, 42, 41, 39, 38, 38, 37, 36, 30. So 1st to 10th, the difference is 12 points, and there's still 8 matches left. 8 times 3 is 24 points available. Yep. So that's why when Ignatius says that King Faisal can still win the league, you have to believe him.
Yeah. Look, it's funny, but it's true. And for me, it just shows you the level of football in this country. We all thought Aduana Stars were running away from it. All of a sudden, they've gone through an inconsistent run. It looks like teams are starting to creep closer to them.
Yeah.
And for me, it might be exciting, but it's a problem for me.
Yeah.
Because, you see, in every well-functioning league, there are clear-cut levels. You see a couple of teams running for the title, a couple of teams battling for top 4. Then there's mid-table, then there's relegation. But in Ghana football, in the Ghana Premier League, especially this season, it looks like after the relegation fight, everybody else is in the title race. And the title race looks like a relegation fight in all other leagues. Because relegation fights in most of the leagues starts from mid-table all the way down to the guys in. And it just shows you how inconsistent our top teams are. They are just not good enough. Somebody who's, and again, I say somebody might like to look at it from the exciting angle as to the fact that teams are now close in terms of quality. The quality gap has been reduced and it's making things more interesting.
I like to use points gap. I don't think it's quality gap.
Yeah, exactly.
If you mention quality...
So there are 2 ways of looking at it.
Yeah.
Either everybody is good or everybody is
And I see, no, seriously, I see that.
Where do you stand?
Oh, they shan't. No, it's true.
Well, yeah. There is a template to compare, and that's Africa. And when they go, they fail monumentally. So you can't necessarily say they are good.
You can have a competitive league. It doesn't translate to quality.
Yeah.
So our league is competitive.
Yeah,
At a mediocre level.
Absolutely, because
That's
all
what
the
it is,
teams are not good enough. You can also have a competitive league of teams that are very good.
Elite.
From where we sit,
Yeah.
I agree with Danny.
Seriously, the fact that this Hearts of Oak team, this
It's only
Kotoko
5
team,
points.
still has a chance of winning the league.
There's a problem.
That's a serious
Yeah.
problem.
The biggest winners this weekend, though, was RTU. They were superb. They won by 5 goals to 1. Let me show you the full results from this weekend, Benaya. Tamale City also secured a 3-2 victory against Bechem. So it was goals galore in Tamale. There you go. 5-1 against Bibiani Gold Stars from RTU. House of Oak 2-1 against the Trusted Man. You see, Tamale City, they beat Bechem United 3-2 in a 5-goal thriller. The General Stars played their game at Abrankese because they've been banned from playing at home. So they went to the Nations FC home ground and they beat Great Olympics there by 1-0. Legon City's Pastor Kuredi said, mark my words, we will survive. And it appears the resurgence has started from this weekend. They beat Kotoko Royals by 2-0. And when we show you the bottom of the table, Faisal, by the way, great resurgence, 4 matches now. In the last 4 matches, they've not lost one.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
New managerial bounce. Ignacio
New managerial bounce. Anyway, but let's look at the bottom of the table, see where the rest of the teams are. There you go. So RTU significantly jumped up, 35 points. Even RTU are only 12 points behind the leaders, and they're in 11th. And there you go. But look at the Great Olympics. After that defeat, suddenly have slipped into relegation. But I'm interested in Legon City because Maso Konodu dared everybody on national television where he says, mark my word. And they were bottom when he said those words. And look at them right now. So Legon City's, but again, Daniel, look at the relegation fight. Yeah. 31, 31, 31, 31, 32. It's crazy. You cannot afford to drop point in this battle. Crazy stuff. Anyway, so that's the lowdown on the Ghana Premier League.
Yes, just the good thing then also is that there might be no room for matches of convenience this season.
Yeah, because everybody's
in danger. Everybody's in danger.
If they like,
sell to.
If you like,
so that could be the positive thing. It's the more reason why around this time last season, we're hearing all the rumors and reports about games on betting websites. Around this time, the second round of the season. But this time, second round of the season, it looks like every team is scrambling for something. Yeah. So there's not going to be room for much of convenience. I like it.
And for Kumasi Asante Kotoko and their fans, I just have one thing to say to them. Decide what you want. Because every season, this always seems to happen. Every administration. It's always as if Kotoko don't like good things. Because every time things seem to be going well, then they shoot themselves in the foot. And you cannot decouple what's happening off the pitch from what's happening on the pitch. Because what is happening off the pitch is what's translating in the performances. Because you have to stand by your CEO. Because I don't understand, I literally don't get it, this whole renewed hatred and agenda against Nanaya Amponsa. He's the club CEO. He may have his weaknesses. But the man has also done really significantly good things at Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And if you look at how the club was run a few years ago before he took over, he's brought the club a little farther. And that is what is important. Okay, don't shoot yourselves in the foot. Every single time you start dragging your CEO, and there's now a big split between the fan base and between the board and the CEO. This does not help the football club. Because literally, what's happening is, and that's the same thing they did to KK Sapon. Opoku Inti, Kwame Che, Nanaya Amponsa, it's almost as if no single administration can survive at Kumasi Asante Kotoko without getting hounded out. Nobody runs a football club like that. Unless you people want Otunfo himself to come and run the football club. And if for nothing at all, in my opinion, the fact that Nanaya Amponsa has been able to run a self-sustainable football club that no longer relies on an individual pumping in their own money, that in itself is a long way the club has come. And last season, the club's head coach went on national radio and said that Kumasi Asante Kotoko was only a big club on paper. He said because they don't even have toilets in their training facility, in their training grounds. The players ease themselves in the bush. This season, they have managed to put a facility together that has as many as 12 toilets. If you ask me, that's progress. That is progress. That alone is progress. And so it's the small things. It's not something significantly big. He doesn't have to win the CAF Champions League for you to see the progress. And I don't even have a personal relationship with Nana Amponsah. I know him, but he and I don't pick up the phone and call each other. But it disturbs me. It upsets me that every single time and every administration at Kumasi Asante Kotoko, this always happens. The fans always find a way of destroying whoever is there, backbiting, and always setting up an agenda helped by some unscrupulous radio presenters who are not helping the situation. Some of our colleagues, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Unless you people want Otunfo himself to come and run the football club. Other than that, everybody that comes to Kotoko, these things will always happen. Let's look beyond the individuals and look at the substance of the work that is being done. I don't agree with everything that Nana Amponsah did when he came to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Certainly, I didn't agree with the way he treated certain players when he came. But you have to say, they came to meet a monumental debt. Right now, when they leave, Kumasi Asante Kotoko would be a club that is in a better place financially and would not have been owing any single entity. That is progress. That's how you run a football club. It's not just about achievements on the pitch, but it's also about sustainable finances. You know, let's do that. And then for me, it hurts me because Kotoko and Houseful, if they do well, that's when our football will do well. You know, let's stop these childish things of always, you know, it's like personal interest, and if I'm not chopping some, then it's not, or I've heard some places people say it is going on some tribal bigotry lines. Like, let's stop that. Let's grow up. Let's not go that low. Please. Fabu. Even the fabulous census that is initiated. That is a great initiative. Brilliant. This was the manager or the CEO that was able to raise more money for Kumasi Asante Kotoko under COVID than any other club in this country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the virtual seat challenge, innovation, people that can think. You don't need to put people there simply because maybe they have money and they can pay. No, put people there that have brains, who can think and run a football club professionally. Kotoko deserves better, and the fans should know that. I'm very ashamed. Some of the... No, it's true. Daniel, am I not making sense?
Fire on.
No, it's very disturbing. Like, what is it with Kotoko?
So childish.
What is it? It is like, it makes no sense. Like, I'm struggling to understand what the issues are. Like, I don't get it.
It's the pettiest of petty issues.
Okay? Very petty. Because if you have a management and you don't agree with management decisions, what do? The fans have a voice.
Yeah.
You criticize. You don't get up and start hounding the person out simply because you don't agree with certain decisions. Surely, in his 3 years there, this is his third season, Kotoko have won the league once. In those 3 years. When they won the league, they brought an 8-year, or was it 11 years?
2014.
Yeah.
2012. Maxwell could not do it. No, sorry. Didi Dramani. 2014. That's how long it took. So you spent 8 years in the wilderness without winning a league. The man comes, wins a league title, runs a financially sustainable club. He moved the players from hotel bills of approximately 6,000 cedis per player per month to now paying 600 cedis per player per month. And you don't think that is progress? We should leave the club to go and be in somebody's hotel. And at the end of the month, they come and build a club. So the small money they will get from the gate fees, they go and pay the hotel owner. The person has come, he's removed the players from there, he's giving them decent accommodation where they are paying so much less. You don't like that. No. Anyway, let's move on.
Just one word on Nana Amponsah. The other problem I have with the Kotoko issue is, I like the Nana Amponsah. Like you said, he's got his futuristic. He's got ideas, and he sticks with them, implements them, and as you said, he's brought Kotoko to a better place. In his first season, and I was running commentary in the Ghana Premier League, Kotoko played all their home games away from home,
and still finished second.
And had to beat them virtually about 3 games to the end of the season to guarantee the title. That was how close he came. In second season, he won it. This is third season. It's been the most difficult season for him because he's playing in front of his fans again, and he hasn't gone according to plan. My thinking is, if Nana Amponsah is backed and he stays at Kotoko for 10 years, he probably transformed the club. Because when I look at what he's been able to do slowly and gradually for a club that didn't have so much,
Yes.
the club that historically should have so much, but realistically have not much, and for him to do what he's doing with the club, I think if Nana Amponsah gets even 10 years with this club, he probably takes them to another level. But as you said, the politics and several other things might hinder that.
Just 30 seconds. My simple problem is the public nature of this feud. And it's very petty for me. Some of the utterances are very
and quite disgraceful.
And disgraceful. Look, it's
it's so childish.
You're talking about. And you see, we need to understand, and some of these guys in the topmost positions need to understand that in present day, media is, look, it moves like light.
It's quick.
You say something silly and somebody outside there is looking at you, and you are Asante Kotoko. You literally represent something bigger than yourselves.
Yes.
You represent Ghana football. You are like a reference when it comes to Africa, a reference for Ghana football when it comes to the world. So you can't be going on radio stations and social media and making some very silly and childish, something that like my class 2 and class 3 children will be fighting in the streets. It's very...
To the point where some of the comments are actually bigotry.
You can't do that. You really can't do that. There's a medium where you can, if you don't agree with it, if you're a board member, you don't agree with the CEO, you can call meetings and deal with it.
Yes. Yeah,
it doesn't even need to come to the media.
No.
We don't need to get the details of those meetings. And
Because in 3
There are
years,
structures.
in 3 years, I'm not sure what anybody was expecting him to achieve. There's no successful CEO of any club anywhere in the world who has done that in a year, in 2, in 3. They take time. He will learn. He will make mistakes.
Has done tremendously well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anybody that says that his tenure has been a failure, you are a witch. On a more serious note,
no, that would be somebody's opinion, depending upon what measure. Of,
no.
What's
the measure of the measures of success?
Yeah.
Are universal. Okay.
Yeah.
They are universal. You cannot say anybody that has run a club from debt.
Yeah.
Into financial sustainability is failure. You can't tell me that and tell me it's your opinion.
However, on the sporting side, another person will tell you, okay, Hearts of Oak in the same period have won 2 FA Cups, 1 league title, every title in Ghana. They compare that to Nana Achimen with Kotoko in the same time and say he's not successful.
But 8 years without a truth.
Hearts of Oak had 12 years without a trophy.
Yeah.
And Hearts of Oak in the same period,
yes.
Hearts of Oak in the same period as Nana came,
yes.
has won 2 FA Cups. They've won the league title. They've beaten Kotoko to 2 President Cups. So on the sporting level,
yes.
somebody can say...
What is the backing nature at both clubs? Nana has had to achieve all of those things while trying to turn the club from one that was in debt into a financially sustainable.
So on a financial level, it's been successful.
Hold on, No, I'm saying those things have an impact on recruitment.
I agree. I'm just saying that when somebody says,
unlike say Hearts of Oak, who pumped everything into trying to win the league title because they had a man with bottomless money pumping in the money. Nana doesn't have that.
Kotoko is actually supposed to have that, but that's another conversation.
Anyway, let's move on. Sejima this weekend made everybody proud. Certainly himself. And this interview, right? Okay. The fight itself was quite brutal. I don't know if my producer has the fight highlights itself, but it was as raw as you would get. But it was this interview after that really got everybody excited. Let's listen.
Chairs and big. I remember where I come from, right? And people don't really know who I am, right? And I came to this country by myself at 2012. No one else. The country is there, but I don't have no home. Yeah, it was hard for me. And today, I enter and I see a lot of chairs and big events. I was like, what's going wrong? You know, and I noticed that it's like how I believe myself and I trust myself. And I work so hard toward my dreams. And I never give up. I never let anyone let me down. I put myself to the limit. I don't sleep. I'm running 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Like a madman, people see me like, what's this guy doing? And now this is the answer for those people. They was asking me those questions. You know, and I'm so proud of myself. And my mom, my family back home, they're all watching me. And I make them proud because I come from nothing. A place there was no light, there was no water, nothing there. And I see myself in one of big promotion in the way, Queensbury. Come on, bro, there is a God. So whatever results happen there, I don't care. I don't care. I see myself like a winner, no matter what. And I don't back down, you know. And thank for all of you and everyone who've been put me in this platform, especially Francis Warren, my manager. And I think big things is coming up as well. But this is for you out there. Don't let yourself down. Don't let anyone let you down, tell you can't do nothing. I started boxing at the age of 27. Now I'm here fighting one of the biggest platforms in the world, Joe Joyce undercard. Come on, man. It's possible. Don't let anyone turn your dreams off. Remember, you are the one you know what you want. If you explain it to someone, they will never understand you. I came here, I don't even speak English. And now look, I'm like English teacher. You know, so I'm great. I don't have nothing to tell again. And thank you for this show. Prof, he's emotional.
Charlie, you can't say you are not impressed with that.
That is so touching. That is so pure.
Yeah.
So clean, right from his heart.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just beautiful to see.
It's real.
He poured those emotions.
It's not polished.
It's not one of those that your manager will call you, say that, say this, don't touch on this. It was like
freestyle.
Go ahead.
My favorite line. Come on, bro. There's a God.
There's a God.
It's a God.
Oh, man. You know why this thing makes me happy? And I need to say this.
Yeah.
Look, I saw analysis on his fight style and things.
People are thinking too much.
The guy didn't say he wants to be a world
That's
champion.
the point.
He has come from zero to something. He's there to feed his family. He didn't tell you he wants to become the next Muhammad Ali. Leave him. When he was training for this fight, nobody knew who he was. He didn't tell you he's coming to be a world champion. He didn't tell you he wants to be one of the greats. Leave him.
He said, somebody says a smarter fighter will beat him.
He don't care.
And for somebody who's
He
just 42nd
literally said
bound.
it. He said, look, I don't care. What
about the results?
I don't
Yeah.
care. He's there to feed
yeah.
his family. He's there to make something out of him. Look at the story. From construction worker in Ghana to a cleaner in Britain. Took him 5 years. He started a game of boxing at age 27. He's 33 and you are telling me that he should be smarter and he should go and win world titles. There are people who do that. The boy is there to make money and enjoy himself.
That's all. Thank you. Let's go to Europe and talk EPL. Your messages are welcome. The number is on your screen. 0551 575757 on the hashtag game plan as well. Not game plan, sports zone. Hey, when you host multiple shows, that's what happens.
Why meeting me?
You are the cause. Hashtag is sports zone. Let me actually read some messages before we go to the Premier League. Kofi Gakto says, I wasn't matured enough to see what Herbert Addo did at Kotoko. We all heard he was the best, but still was hounded out. Kotoko fans were our own enemies. This message continues and says, your Kotoko runs are duly justified. We've never seen someone sensible in Kotoko to make it great. And we press the self... we've seen someone sensible at Kotoko to make it great, and we've pressed the self-destruct button. Interesting. Gambero, Roland, he says, hi guys, seeing Lampard as a coach really makes me sick. Is it by force to coach? Carragher, Gary Neville, and Ferdinand are literally making managers by talking on Sky Sports. He should just quit coaching to save his little reputation. Laka Joe, he says, Fencho, God bless you for your take on Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Clinton Eletu says, Fencho speaking facts about the unnecessary drama at Kotoko. And DeGraft Ayala, my good friend, he says, now that Dreams FC are not doing well in the league, people have forgotten that the team is for the GFA president.
That's true.
That's a good point, because they're in the relegation zone.
That's true.
And, all right, Ni Apne says, just in, Olympics have moved their home to Sugapope Wafa Park for the remaining league matches. Hey, Olympics, great Olympics. Wow.
It did serve them well, though, the last time they tried it.
It did, yes. Mauna Do, Bright, he says, if winners were to be declared every game week, we'll probably have different winner every match day in the Ghana Premier League. That is true. Very, very close, the title race. More of them are here. It says, this team has 7 players who failed the MRI when the WAFI Games was held in Ghana. Yes, part of Fabian's famous interview when they said they conducted the MRI. So it was he said 2 weeks to the tournament, and they kicked out most of his players. He's not the one in charge now. And to be fair, it's not exactly the same team. Yeah. They've brought in much younger players. Yeah. Bright Jr., he says, hi, friend. For Kepa to teach his defenders where to position themselves on the pitch is just a ridiculous summary of Chelsea's coaching story of the season. Ignatius Osei, Fosu of Kimfastor is miles ahead of some coaches. All right, interesting. Coach Pepita, he just says, my boys are on. Keep your messages coming. Use the hashtag Sports Zone.
Hello to Pepita.
Pepita says, Daniel Cranton, let's have that submission on Freezy MacBones tomorrow, please.
Yeah.
That is true. And Kwame says, please tell Daniel to relax more while we beg him. He's like he's one of the people.
He's one of them. Behave yourself.
He's one of the people. And Pielo, OP, he says, Freeze got me in tears and laughing at the same time. I support Danike on Freezy. Dude was just there to make money for his family. All right. His name is Freezy MacBones. Said Jima, a.k.a. Freezy MacBones. Chelsea, Frank Lampard, 4 matches now, 4 defeats. They hosted Brighton and Hove Albion at Stamford Bridge. It ended in...
Is that you are always going to break your structure. If you've got players who can just pass the ball, they move the ball to the next player. They've got Solimach who can dribble. McAllister, Caicedo, even in central midfield, can dribble.
Yeah.
Estupinan can dribble. And when Enciso came on, he learned a lot.
Highlighted that they had a bit of hope for the season.
Yeah.
They should have just left Potter for him to finish the season. And then communicate to us that he's going to leave at the end of the season. That is better than bringing Lampard to raise hopes. It's very unfair on the fans. Okay. Because Lampard has come in and nothing is changed under Potter.
That's true.
At least with Potter, you see, it wasn't going well, but there was some thinking.
And not
hard work.
Hard work.
We didn't run enough.
Did you hear his hype for Gallagher after the game that he was the one who was...
He was.
Oh, God.
How can you possibly look at that and tell me he's a best?
Let's look at one more game before we go to Karim. This time, West Ham United against Arsenal.
Over to you, Danny.
Everybody... Well, and the reason this is very important is that, well, Arsenal were supposed to lay down the marker after the pressure from Man City in the last few weeks. They took it...
Castigated. It's over. The league is done. Arsenal will win the league. And we are
just
not,
like that.
No, we are not surprised. We are not surprised. Why? Because you see, this team lacks experience. We said it at the start. In fact, top teams are teams that experience setbacks and are able to quickly pick themselves up. Yeah. That is what the top team is not a team that goes. You don't win every game of the season. These things happen. But if you go through the biggest teams in the world, the Man Uniteds, the Real Madrids, the Manchester City now, the Bayern Munich. When they reach this point in the season, that's where they are
Chelsea
their
of
best.
old, actually, yeah.
Even the Chelsea of old. When they reach the last 10, the last
squeaky bum time.
That is where they are their best. And it always happens. Look at Liverpool's record over the past, 5 seasons in their last 10 games. Leading in the top 4 race. Last 10 games, he goes to lose at Tottenham. And
that is true. That was quite disappointing.
This season, he's leading in the Premier League race. And you see, it is in your hands. It's not a bad result when you look at it on paper. Say you drew against West Ham. But when you take a 2-0 lead against a West Ham team, there is no reason.
Get a penalty.
And a penalty at this stage in the season.
But then that does not count. I don't know what you make of it, but does not count for something for Arteta. That he's won the Premier League not once, but twice or 3 times under Pep. He probably would have picked some experience from there.
It's different.
Is it different?
When you are calling the shots, it's very different from when you are in the background.
Right.
When you are calling the shots, the pressure is on you. The cameras are on you. You are the one carrying. He was hiding behind Pep. Nobody knew exactly what he was doing with Pep until he left.
And now the cover is off. So you can see.
Go and win it.
And the pressure is on.
Go and win the league. We are waiting for you. Go.
Wow. So I don't know about you, but I'll read some of the messages you have sent to me here on the show on WhatsApp. The people who have sent messages on WhatsApp, I'll read them shortly. But let me go to my good friend Karim very briefly.
My very good friend Karim.
Karim, what have you got for us on Ghanaian players abroad?
Well, interesting stuff. This weekend has been one of the best we've seen from Ghanaian players abroad. When we go to Portugal, we've seen that Issa Abbas, the former Black Meteors forward, he came on as a lead substitute, scored a very good winner for Chaves against Benfica, but he didn't make the team. It just gives you, tells you the story about the kind of numbers the forward players have over the weekend. So we have Lawrence Atizigi is just stuck in my head. We have Abalora in goal. He kept the post for FC Sheriff. They won 2-1 against Milsami. Okay. Then at right back, you have Andy Adam. He played for Reading against
solid guy.
Burnley, Vincent Kompany's Burnley. They have secured relegation to the Premier League, but they were able to hold. They were able to hold them to a goalless draw, and Andy Adam completed the most tackles in that game, 1 3 out of 3. Then we have Kasim Adams. Young boys faced his side Basel, they faced Young Boys. The game ended 1-1, and he was literally on top of his game. Alex Jikui's side, Strasbourg, they faced Ayasio, and they won 3-1. Literally, the captain, and he basically did his job really well.
Did Shaw play a left back for Palace?
Well, he didn't, but the options we have, then that's how we explored it.
But he did well.
Yeah,
Tell me about Esiam and Isaac Kofi.
Well, in my ACM, making his first start for Young Boys in a game like his first start for Basel in a game against Young Boys. That's a team that plays in Europe consistently. And he literally, he held his nerves really well, completed 5 dribbles in that game, won back possession 13 times.
I'm so happy for him. I mean, I ran commentary him in the Premier League.
Is my good friend.
Yeah.
Well in Turkey.
Sivasspor, they lost us against Giresunspor, but literally the number 6, they completed 6 out of 6 long balls. Jordan Ayew.
Joseph Peso. Jordan Ayew did well. We won't be scared there. Joseph Peso, now 24 goal contributions this season.
They faced no mean team but Anderlecht. Though this season they are not the same Anderlecht, but they are still good in Europe. They beat AZ Akroma.
Yeah.
And what's the name? The guy. He scored a very nice goal, his first ever in Europe. And Joseph Peso, he scored twice in that game and assisted.
Against Anderlecht?
Yes. And this season, 14 goals. I can't remember the last time I mentioned 14
and 10
goals
assists, 24
for a Ghanaian player. That's and a new entry as well. And Liverdia is playing in Estonia. He's also scored a bit.
Is also scoring.
Iñaki Williams, playing at the right side of the attack is the magic one for him. Scoring 2 goals. What a goal he scored.
All of that here, right?
He now has 4 goals in his last 3 games.
Yes, 3 games. That's as many as he's done in the previous 27.
Yeah, Jordan Ayew faced Kamal Dean. Kamal Dean is still yet to score or assist in the Premier League, but he brings energy.
Stop. Before I take your messages, let me show you the Champions League fixtures for this weekend, the return leg matches, in case you're wondering how those look like. Chelsea play on Tuesday. They host Real Madrid. And then, of course, Manchester City against Bayern Munich. That match will be in Germany. You've got Benfica also hosting, of course, Inter Milan, and AC Milan going to Napoli. So there you go. You see the results from the first legs there. Napoli have it all to do against Milan. Chelsea have it all to do against Real. Bayern against Man City. Can they overturn the result? That remains to be seen. Inter Milan, of course, against Benfica. They also got a slim lead there. Anyway, so that's that. Andy, the Ghana, he says, good evening. I just want Danike to know we are winning the league. Okay. We are Arsenal Football Club, and we will shock the world at the Etihad, he says. And this one says, Inshallah, tomorrow Chelsea will beat Real Madrid by 3-0. This is Rufai in Fushegu.
Vim.
Daniel, why are you laughing?
Vim.
Why are you laughing?
I'll become the president of the United States of America. I mean, we're all saying something.
Hey, this one says, hello, tomorrow Chelsea is going to score Real Madrid by 4-0.
Vim.
People have seen it. Anyway, thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in. That's our show for today, brought to you by Hunters. My name is Daniel Kranti. Relax.